Hello, dear Gemini, and welcome to your November 2019 astrology forecast for the month ahead with Alicia Yusuf. So, trying a new format and trying a video format this month. So, I'd love to hear your feedback once you've watched this. It'll be about 5 to 8 minutes of your time, and what I'll be going through with this is the power dates for the month ahead and the dates to watch as well. So, really, it's funny. I was laughing because this is probably the 6th time I've tried to record this video, and I'm like, of course, Mercury's in its shadow, and that's what it must feel like for you right now, especially at the beginning of the month. Mercury's stationed at the last few days of the month before, and you're still having a bit of a hangover for that now. So it is going retrograde for much of the month, and there is that feeling of rehashing, redoing, revisiting, reassessing, researching, all those rewords. But the possibilities as well with Mercury retrograde is it takes you off transmit and onto receive and turns our thinking inwards. There's an ability under Mercury retrograde to tap into our intuition, especially in the sign of Scorpio. So for you right now, with Mercury retrograding through your 6th house of its wellness and health, but it's also routines, those daily rituals that support you. It might be a good time to be starting a regular practice of listening to your intuition and asking your more subconscious or semi-conscious self, higher self, whatever you want to call it, to have more sway in your day-to-day and to have more of a help, to listen to your gut and your instinct a bit more. I have attached below this a link to a meditation to use during Mercury retrograde, so perhaps that's something you could do as a bit of a daily ritual or a regular ritual during this time. So if delays do happen, or you feel like, I can't even talk properly, if you feel like you're having to rehash things, it's just knowing that, being patient. If things are urgent, having a plan B in place in case you can't do them in the way you originally envisioned. But with some of the lows this month for you, there's also some of the highs, and one of those really is the focus again on relationships. Now we're really into the beginnings, the touches of Sagittarius season this month, especially with Jupiter. So it's on the 1st of November, or early on the 2nd of November for those in Australia and New Zealand. Venus moves into your 7th house of relationships and brings her juice, brings her sweetness, brings her pleasure-seeking self into those areas of your life and unifying things here. So absolutely, this is a marriage partner or a really intimate partner, but it could also be really close friends, bosom buddies, and business partners, or even clients, people that you're on any kind of equal standing with. So really, there's a lot of joy, a lot of pleasure to be had with bringing those together at the moment. And I feel like anything that you've been doing over the past year that connects to that, this is the chance to squeeze some of the last juice out of it. There's a particular power day ahead for you around this energy, which is on the 24th or the 23rd, 24th, 23rd in most of the world, it's the 24th for everybody. There's that Mercury retrograde again. And this is a chance to really make the most of Jupiter in Sag and to really squeeze the last drops of that out. So there is a sense for you of what collaborations can I make, what partnerships can I form. This is a day to make proposals, perhaps of the marrying kind, but also to business partners. This is a day to think, how can I benefit from joining with others? How can we benefit, not just how can I benefit? How can we all collaborate together to make something real for all of us? So yeah, absolutely, one of your big power days this month. And another part of this as well is the fact that there's a new moon just before the end of the month. So that's the 26th of November, 27th early in the morning here in Australia. I'll put the dates, the exact times below. And just to know that with that new moon, it's a chance to have a clean slate when it comes to relationships. This is a month to set intentions around we, not me. This is a chance to really form bridges, form partnerships, and form connections with others. So yeah, making the most of this juice while you can. And that will help ameliorate some of the trickier energies of this month, because as Mercury is going backwards, and Mercury being your ruler, it will go and touch on some of those spaces that it touched on from mid-October last year. So some of the trickier conversations you may have had, potential power struggles, or standing up and meeting authorities, as Mercury and Scorpio sextiled the Capricorn heavyweights. And as well, you know, the vague, confusing, but also beautiful, intuitive trine with Neptune that also happened towards, when did that happen? That was on the 16th of October, and that is going to happen again on the 14th, and then the 28th of this month as well. So just to know, I mean, I get a feeling the 14th will actually be lovely, because Mercury retrograde is, or in Scorpio, is already very intuitive, very sensitive, and there will be a lovely flow between these two, being a trine. On the 28th, Mercury is direct again, so it may just feel strange for Mercury. Mercury and Neptune don't really get along that well. Neptune just wants to go with the flow, just feel things, intuit things, whereas Mercury's like, I want the facts, I want the hard, cold data. So, you know, it's kind of like, oh, how are we going to make this work? But yeah, I feel like on the 14th, we can really pick up with our, you know, our intuitive antenna, what we need to then put in place around creativity, around imagination, and around how we can actually create these beautiful projects. You know, this actually really feeds into career for you, feeds into your public image and your public standing. So any goals, ideals, visions, you're not real strategic goals, but those, you know, castle in the air type goals, have conversations with people around you, maybe colleagues, that can help you take those next steps around this space. And you know, this is a time to think outside the box. This is a time to just dream big and worry about putting the hard steps in later. So those may be some of your trickiest dates. One last day as well that I skipped over is the Cazimi. This is a real power date for you, the Cazimi. So that's the 11th and the 12th of November. And this will be when the Mercury moves into the heart of the sun. So there, I'll put the exact timings below for you, but there's a sense of this is a day to speak out and ask for what you want, to form contracts with others, to sign, you know, put a signature on something, to have a golden energy given to that. So there is a sense for you, especially around things, you know, 6th house things. So this is health and wellness. This is around your daily rituals and routines that support you, but it's also colleagues and even pets, small animals, large animals at 12th house. So anything that can kind of help you with that, you know, this could potentially be getting a lovely new pet at this time, or signing a contract with a colleague that will help support you going forwards. So yeah, I wish you much luck with the month ahead, and hopefully you won't have to redo and rewrite as much as I have done with this today. But if you do, just be ready and prepared for any delays that happen. Nobody ever died of a Mercury retrograde. Bye.